3, 2, 1.
We're back. More exciting adventures of The Incredible Hokes. I'm Chris.
I'm Mark.
I did go because I had a cough, so I made a weird noise instead of just coughing.
That may be the weirdest intro we've ever done.
We'll keep it. We keep all of our weird intros. It's kind of a hallmark. Is our intros and outros are always awkward and off-putting.
Yeah, we're like the actor who his first gesture onto the stage is to trip.
Or fart, or throw up, or something like that. Well, speaking of making a complete ass of yourself, has there ever been a movie make a fool out of you? Question mark?
Well, King Kong made a monkey out of me.
Yeah.
Dun, dun.
The subject.
Oh, hey, how about movies that you watch and you don't like? Later on, you see it the second time and you find that you like. So we're doing movies you at one time disliked, but now you think are great. That's what we're doing today. Now that
Do I have to say
sounds
great?
fun.
Do I have to say great?
No, you can say good.
Okay.
But I have a couple that I think were at once.
We'll roll it out.
I didn't like them that much, but now I think they're great. Number one, Andrei Rublev.
Which I've never watched.
It's a foreign film. It's a Russian film, but it's great.
Well, tell me why it sucked first. Why did it not? Why was it? Why
when
was
I first
it
saw it, I was a much younger man. So
younger than I am today.
Yeah. So in fairness, when I saw it, I think I was mid-20s. And I just thought it was just so long. A lot of scenes just played just so long. There's scenes where you have peasants in the rain, and they're all just looking at one each other as they've taken refuge from the rain in the stable. And that scene goes on probably just them staring at one another like 7 minutes. And you're like, okay, and I'm usually I'm really critical on don't waste my time with scenes. If you're going to take some time on a scene, it has to pay off. You're giving me something.
Sure. Don't
just have scenes that just go long for no reason. However, this is one of those cases where part of the film's appeal is he's wanting you to be in the shoes of the protagonists and the characters within. And once you kind of get across that hurdle, you see what the director was doing, and you appreciate its greatness. And the third act is one of the great third acts of all time, as this young boy, to try to save his life, has told these warlords he can cast a bell. He knows how to do that because they want this bell for their new headquarters, and he tells them he can do that. Well, he's never done it before. So there's the drama of like, wait a minute, you just heard your grandpa used to do it, or his dad used to do it, but he had never actually done it. So there's a whole tension and drama. Is that bell going to ring? So one of the great third acts of all time. So that would be my Andrei Rublev.
Is that even something you can find? Is that even like on Netflix or Amazon?
You can go on Amazon and find it on DVD. Criterion Collection. It's part of the Criterion Collection.
Well, I'm just saying they're like, hey, I haven't watched that. Where the hell am I supposed to go and watch this?
For you,
can you go to Redbox, get Andrei Rublev?
For you Turner Classic Movies fans, you know that it's on probably once every 2 years on that network.
That's crazy. Do I need to go out and watch this movie now? Okay, you know the kind of movies I like. Tell me up front if I don't like it. And I know you know. Tell me, do you think I like it?
I don't think you would like it because I don't think...
well, that damn demo reel that you swear up and down is a good movie.
I don't think you'd have the patience to sit through for 3.5 hours, 4 hours to watch Andrei Rublev.
No. Not if they're just staring at the damn rain for 7
And that's just one scene, but that happens in the first hour. Yeah.
I just can't imagine. Unless it was like on as I worked.
That'd be the only way I think you can get through it. Yeah.
Well,
most people wouldn't be interested in anything except probably the third act, and they'd say, "Well, everything else is crap," but that was interesting. But like I said, when I first saw it, I wasn't as big on it, but now I think it's a classic.
I'll have to see it.
I'm a Tarkovsky. I like Tarkovsky movies anyway. I like Stalker and Solaris. Yeah, I was telling you and my brother Gerald, that's like my go-to movie, Solaris.
Go-to for what?
Yeah, it was just when you're just trying to veg out, you just want a movie on to be on.
Solaris?
Yeah. And we were discussing that at Christmas.
Well, I'm going to switch gears here. There's a couple of movies that I can think of that I didn't like when I first saw them, but now I ended up liking them later.
Okay.
Well, one is Inherent Vice. I think I mentioned this to you before. Inherent Vice from P.T. Anderson is one that when it came out, I was really stoked to see it. I don't think it even played in the theaters in Waco. I was super stoked to see it. Missed it in the theater. I think it bombed at the box office big time.
Oh yeah,
and complete loser of a movie in terms of like box office. I think I saw it on video when it hit video, which I think it went to video pretty quickly, and so I grabbed it up first chance I could, and I watched it, and I was like, And there's like a really long scene in the middle of the movie where like she's naked, and it's like the most. You think a hot chick naked would be an awesome scene, but it's like not. It's like even now that I like the movie, I still will fast forward to that scene because it goes on forever, and she just keeps whispering, and there's this sound of this leather couch, and then there's like this eruption where he spanks her, and I think he screws her or whatever else, but it's like so awkward and off-putting a scene. And the whole movie, he's like all hairy and high, and it's just like, and they build it. A lot of the criticisms, the critics and stuff, and like Harry Knowles, ain't it cool and whatnot. Like, man, this is like a slapstick. This is like Airplane.
Right.
They're like, man, P.T. Anderson's like, this is like a slapstick movie, and I'm watching them like, other than the Martin Short scene, what the fuck are they even talking about? And there's one scene where these cops are coming, instead of getting hit, he drops through the ground. And then I don't know what they're talking about. Yeah,
I don't get it either.
So when I first saw it, my expectations were really high, and it had a certain movie in mind. I watched it, I'm like, what?
Yeah.
But I like certain things. I liked his character. I liked his performance. I liked the mood. I like I like the setting. 70s or late 60s California. He's very much on the ocean front, so I like a hippie on the ocean front.
Yeah.
So I watched it again, kind of dug it, kind of stuck with me, started thinking about things. I think I watched it a third time. Now I'm starting to really dig it. Now it's like, man, can't think of what to watch. I put in that movie just because I like that character. I like that feel of that movie.
There's a lot of like sunset scenes and that kind of magic hour kind of shots.
Yeah, well, there's a whole scene where it's raining and they run to the rain to go find heroin. And it feels... There's a certain type of rain where it's raining, but you can still be out in it.
Right.
And they're running, and it's like that movie. I can almost smell what that feel that is like. That type of rain, really thick, heavy drops, but not a lot of them. So like, I don't know. There's certain feels and moods about that movie. The character, I just like the Joaquin Phoenix character. He's like somebody that's kind of cool. He's a detective, but he's a hippie detective. But it's like a unique, neat feel. But first time I watched it, I hated it. Number two, and then you'll do another one and we'll wrap it up.
Okay.
I haven't seen this movie in a long time because it kind of fell out of fashion, but it was a big, huge hit. And I was like, I didn't really... There's Something About Mary. When it first came out, I didn't like it. Yeah. I didn't like it. I was like, I don't know what the fucking big deal is about this damn movie. I just didn't like it for some reason. I found it off-putting, and I found that it was like...
Well, there was the hype around it.
It was a little too much hype.
It's a little out of balance, for what it was.
Or something. Maybe, sometimes people hype up something so much to you that you watch it and you're like, well, that's...
Well, Napoleon Dynamite was one of those kind of movies where people just kept talking about it, and I saw it, I thought, that's a good, small, cute movie. But they were like going on about it, so go ahead.
Yeah, so I kind of like that. I was like, well, then I think it came on HBO and I watched it again. Liked it, saw it again on HBO, and then it became, it's on. I'll put it on Something About Mary and I'll watch it.
Yeah.
And so it's like, I think a lot of my not liking a movie, there's some you just hate you never ever like.
Right.
But I think the key to my not like it, I like it later, is all about the expectation. I think somebody has screwed up. Like you and our old coworker ruined Pitch Black for me.
Yeah.
We should talk about this. The short form show. The movie Pitch Black with Vin Diesel. Him and this old coworker had me believing this is the next greatest science fiction landmark film of all time ever. And I watch it. I'm like, okay, that's okay, I guess. What the fuck crack you guys were smoking about? Because they were like, this is 2001, this is Star Wars. I'm like, wasn't that good, buddy? But I didn't like The Matrix when I first saw it either. And then I warmed up to it.
Yeah, I remember that.
That might be the biggest one, is The Matrix. I didn't agree with them killing everybody. It took me a while to buy into their moral mindset.
Yeah.
It was a heavy buy-in for me. I didn't buy in at first.
Yeah. Because you start off with a scene like that, and you don't really like, are we supposed to be
I remember the first time we watched it.
Person, or are we not?
You have a tendency, or you used to, you're not as bad as it used to be. You used to be like, yeah, you get to a movie, right?
Yeah.
I remember we're watching Matrix the first time, and she just straight up murders these cops.
Right.
And you go, yeah. And I'm like, I remember looking at you like,
yeah.
What the hell's going on with you?
Yeah.
And you looked at me, I remember you went, and I even said, she just killed cops. And I remember the day you go, oh. That's exactly what you did. You went, oh, I think you realized I wasn't seeing what you were seeing.
Right. Yeah. It dawned on me like, wait a second, he hasn't seen the movie.
Yeah.
So this is not. It's going to play totally different. Now you got me thinking of all these things I did when I was younger. And
well, I'm not trying to make
totally,
don't second guess
terrible.
yourself. No.
But
I was just using that as an example of expectation. I'm sure I've overblown I've overblown your expectation. I fucking ruined Wanted. You'll never be able to watch Wanted with Angelina Jolie. I wrote that fucking movie for you. I had you convinced Wanted was the greatest movie of that decade. And then you watch it and you're like, oh, okay, Chris. I don't know what the fuck you were smoking.
Yeah, I came back and I said, so these assassins get their missions from Fabric. And you're like, oh crap, he saw a different movie than I did.
My point is, I've done it to you.
Yeah.
Wanted is the biggest example. I'm sure there's others. Oh, fucking Kong Skull Island. I think I even warned you. Dude, I love this movie. I don't think you're going to love it as much as me, but good God, I love this fucking movie. And I was even trying to I can't help but be hyped about it, but you're not going to like it as much as I did.
Yeah, and I didn't, but I think
I warned you. I'm overly hyped on this movie.
Yeah, you did. You prefaced this is really my kind of movie, so.
Yeah, it was made Kong Skull Island was literally hey, look, if we're a factory that makes movies for Chris, that would be the prototype. That would literally be the prototype.
Another movie that I didn't care for that much, thought it just kind of moved kind of slow, and it was kind of thin on plot. Years ago, was another 70s movie, The Conversation, Francis Ford Coppola's film with Gene Hackman. Now I watched it recently in the last year, and I was like, "Whoa, this is a totally different movie than I remember."
Yeah,
it was so much more deeper and resonant.
I agree with you.
So, some movies I think are wasted on the young, and I would say The Conversation is one of those. If you see it and you're under 20, you're probably not going to like it. Some old guy staring at 50, I enjoy it now.
No, I mean, you're 1,000% right. There have been movies like that I watch as a younger person. I'm like, now I watch as older. Oh my God, that movie nailed it. It was so true.
Yeah.
A lot of times that happens with relationship movies. Now I understand the more nuances of relationships and things like that. And now, someone I was younger, I was like, boy meets girl. Huh? What's that? You have sex, you get married. And like a caveman.
What's the big deal?
Now that I'm older and I understand the dynamics and different things like this, so a lot of relationship type movies play completely differently now.
Right.
So if it had to do with anything about relationships, and I watched it, say from 28 and younger, I'd probably lost on me.
Yeah, I would probably still maintain that in the last 15 years, probably the best movie dealing with relationships is still probably Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind with Jim Carrey and Kate Winslet. So it's a great movie, and their relationship is just all kind of complicated,
Mm-hmm.
and I just find that's a movie I just watch over and over and over. It's just very interesting.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
There you go. So there I am with my obscure Russian movie. Yeah, have fun finding it. Sorry.
Yeah, they won't find Andrew Rublev very easily.
But
they will find
Tarkovsky fans out there. All two of you.
What was the second one you mentioned?
The Conversation. That's easy to find.
That was on Netflix not that long ago.
For you Harrison Ford fans, you get to see Harrison Ford be the bad guy.
Pre-Star Wars.
Yeah, it's a rare bad guy, a villain role for Harrison Ford. There you go.
So, speaking of rare performances out of their depth, that's you.